When CM Punk made his long-awaited return to WWE at Survivor Series War Games 2023, one man was seen freaking out. That man was Seth freaking Rollins. He was losing his mind and even charged towards Punk as the best in the world was at the ramp. Michael Cole was spotted restraining Rollins, preventing him from doing anything controversial. The intensity of Rollins' reaction, combined with the genuine surprise of Punk's return, laid the groundwork for what promised to be a deeply personal and heated conflict. As the wrestling community processed Punk's shocking return, Rollins voiced his strong opinion of Punk the next night, saying, quote, "You guys watch War Games last night? You already know how I feel about that. I said as much last night. I'm not going to waste any more breath on somebody who's been gone for 8 years, has done nothing but try to tear this place down. Instead, I want to take my time, use my breath on talking about the people who've been here all along." End quote. Fans always anticipated a feud between them as they've been going at one another for a long time. In 2019, Punk made a brief return to WWE, not as an in-ring competitor, but as a pundit on the WWE Backstage show airing on Fox. His contract was not with WWE, but with Fox, so technically, he wasn't part of the company. During this time, Rollins publicly challenged him to a match, to which Punk responded by saying that Seth needs to stop tweeting and realize that sometimes it's better to be viewed as a fool and shut your mouth or open your mouth and remove all doubt. That was just the start. After Punk's controversial AEW all-out media scrum and the backstage brawl, Rollins did not shy away from firing shots at him. He said, quote, "Oh, Philly Phil, stay away. Stay away, you cancer. Get away from me forever. I don't like Phil. I don't like Phil. He's a jerk. Did we just figure that out? Did we just figure that out? No." Everybody in the room is like, "Oh no, did he say that? Yeah, no, he's a jerk." End quote. Fans realized that there might be some personal animosity between the two, feeling an even stronger demand for their match. So when rumors of Punk's return to WWE surfaced, the first dream match on everyone's mind was him facing Rollins. However, Punk's return was a huge secret and Rollins had no idea that he was coming back at Survivor Series. The reaction that he gave was genuine. According to Seth's wife, former WWE Women's World Champion Becky Lynch, Seth felt disrespected by not knowing that Punk was coming back. It became evident that this was the path WWE was setting up. When they finally came face to face on Raw, Rollins said that he hates Punk. He further stated that Punk has been slandering his name and slandering every single person in the locker room and claimed that WWE is his home and he will do everything in his power to protect it from people like Punk. The writing was on the wall. Punk versus Rollins at WrestleMania 40. However, that could not happen. During the WrestleMania Behind the Curtain documentary, Triple H revealed that Punk was supposed to face Seth for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania. Unfortunately, Punk got injured at Royal Rumble by Drew McIntyre, which started an entirely different feud. We've covered that storyline in several videos, so be sure to check them out.
Stand back. There's a new wrestling quiz coming through. Check out BrainBuster, the daily quiz that tests your WWE knowledge with winning streaks, stats, and more. It's time to see if you're up for the challenge.
Coming back to Rollins, the plans changed, and he put on double duty at the show of shows by teaming up with Cody Rhodes against The Rock and Roman Reigns, and defending his World Championship against Drew McIntyre, which he lost. Following this, Rollins took some time off to undergo surgery for a torn meniscus. Punk occasionally continued to grace our TV screens, keeping his feud with McIntyre alive by interfering and costing the Scottish Warrior the World Championship on multiple occasions. Seth eventually made his comeback on Raw, challenging Damian Priest for the World Heavyweight Championship at Money in the Bank. On the same night, Drew won the contract and later cashed it in during Seth and Priest's match. But as expected, Punk intervened, once again costing McIntyre, this time the Money in the Bank contract too. In the process, he also sabotaged Seth, who ended up losing the match due to Punk's interference. The following episode on Raw, Seth confronted Punk and told him that his actions have consequences and that he's going to have to pay for them once he is 100%, and ridiculed him for sticking his nose in his business. Punk apologized for his actions but said, quote, "But because it's you, I can't be that sorry, can I? End quote. Punk, McIntyre, and Rollins found themselves entangled in a feud, leading to a match between Punk and Drew being scheduled for SummerSlam, with Seth Rollins serving as the special guest referee. The most thrilling aspect was that each of the three had unresolved conflicts with each other, which intensified fans' excitement. The match was packed with drama centering around Punk's bracelet, which had his wife and dog's name inscribed on it. Drew had stolen it after attacking Punk weeks earlier. When the bracelet fell, Rollins picked it up and put it on for safekeeping. Seeing this, Punk lost his composure, confronted Rollins, and delivered a GTS. This distraction allowed Drew to seize the moment and win the match. This reignited the hate between the two as Seth came out fuming in anger on the next episode of Raw and told Punk that it was time to put him in the dirt. But Punk wasn't done with McIntyre. His focus was on the Scottish Warrior. In the meantime, Rollins was attacked by Bronson Reed, who delivered tsunami after tsunami and injured him. It's clear that Rollins will feud with Reed, as he would need something to do before finally facing Punk, while Punk and McIntyre's personal rivalry will continue to escalate in the coming months. So, fans will have to wait for Rollins and Punk's eventual feud, and that's what Triple H wants. We know that he loves long-term storytelling, and this is the perfect example of that. We have had multiple segments with Punk and Rollins, but there hasn't been any match between them as of yet, and we don't think that will happen until around WrestleMania 41. Consider this: Seth Rollins vs. CM Punk was planned for WrestleMania 40, but Punk's injury led to its cancellation. Had Punk not been injured at Royal Rumble, he might currently be feuding with Rollins instead of McIntyre. One unexpected incident altered the course and allowed WWE to tell a more extended and personal storyline between Punk and Rollins. We expect Punk and McIntyre to finish their rivalry at Royal Rumble 2025, 1 year after Punk's injury, with the best in the world finally overcoming the Scottish Warrior. On the same night, he could enter the men's Royal Rumble match, only to be eliminated by Seth Rollins. This would reignite their feud. WWE can make this personal by having Seth bring up Punk's controversial AEW run and all the brawls that he was part of. Although WWE typically avoids referencing AEW, this could be an exception. Their first match has to happen at WrestleMania 41, but the question is, who wins? Either one can come out with the victory, but the outcome might not be the main focus. Given Triple H's knack for surprises, we anticipate a major twist, with CM Punk potentially winning the match by turning heel. This could turn out to be the new direction for their feud, and Punk also has the motivation to go heel. Seth has been talking crap about him for years, and now that fans are cheering on the Visionary, why wouldn't he turn to the dark side? CM Punk has always excelled as a heel, delivering some of the best performances of his career. Whether leading the Straight Edge Society or dominating as WWE Champion in 2012, he was truly untouchable. As he nears the end of his career, fans deserve one final memorable heel run from the best in the world. Additionally, some fans remain critical of Punk due to past controversies, and by WrestleMania 41, the excitement surrounding his WWE return might have cooled down. This would be an ideal moment for a character shift. On the other hand, Seth is one of WWE's most popular stars, and fans would love seeing him play the underdog role following Punk's heel turn. Punk could even surround himself with younger talent, though not necessarily forming a full-fledged faction. For instance, he might enlist someone like the Final Testament to handle his dirty work. Alternatively, it could be revealed that Punk had secretly hired Bronson Reed to attack Rollins and keep him in line when he was occupied with McIntyre. The possibilities are endless. Their second match could happen at SummerSlam. Seth could have his victory here, but not necessarily a convincing one. He could have a technical pin or something like that to keep the rivalry going. With the loss, Punk could go insane and attack Rollins, injuring him kayfabe-wise. In the meantime, WWE could consider putting the world title on Punk, allowing him to make the most of it as a heel. Punk deserves one final title run in WWE, and this could be the perfect opportunity. When Seth eventually returns, Punk could avoid him and make him jump through various challenges before they finally clash in a decisive match. So, where should the final match between the two happen? There are two options: Royal Rumble 2026, WrestleMania 42. Triple H is someone who could stretch this out to WrestleMania 42 with all the excitement intact. Seth would finally defeat Punk and win the World Heavyweight Championship once again, ending their feud. If they want, They could continue this, but it's better that Punk moves on to someone like Roman Reigns after this. However, they could revisit the feud in the future with roles reversed. This rivalry needs to be deeply personal and even more intense than the one between Punk and McIntyre. It's been building for years, and WWE must deliver a satisfying payoff, especially with Triple H's track record for fulfilling his promises. What are your thoughts on how this will unfold? When do you think the match between Punk and Rollins will finally take place?